Well, months ago, we reported about a tyranny training facility just outside of Bowling Green, Virginia at Fort A.P. Hill. We were shocked when we saw that video. We were like, there is no way that that is training the troops for any overseas military operations. It looks just like any small town USA. What that place is, we called it. It's about desensitizing the troops to be able to fire upon civilians here in America. So we sent David Knight, Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs, to Virginia to get some answers because we want to shine light on this facility. We want people to be talking about it. And of course, they just bird dogged us the entire time, stonewalled us, but we sent the reporters anyway, and they were able to get into the facility and get us high-def footage. Now, if you were listening to the Alex Jones show today, then you'll know that Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs and David Knight were apprehended by the base police. But before they were taken in, they were able to get us this high-def footage. You can see right here, it looks just like any small town USA. It has a fire truck, a fire station, there is a bank, a mosque, a church. There is a mixed-use facility. It could probably be like an office complex or something. Soccer field, you know, where your kids are going to be playing. There are street lights, just like we see in any city here in America. And then there's an underground subway as well. Of course, all of the signs are in English. And Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs said he also went into a building that looked a lot like an interrogation torture room. It was a very dark room, so we don't have the greatest footage of that. But basically, it was shocking. It definitely does not look like any country that we are involved with militarily overseas. It looks like any town in the United States of America. And it is what it is. They have already openly said they're coming after patriots. They're coming after anyone who is anti-government, who dare questions the direction the government is moving to. Domestic terrorists, as Harry Reid likes to call the militia there that stood up to the federal government. That's who they're coming after. And this is a huge psyop to train these troops to be able to fire into buses, fire into the bank, fire into the church. And don't worry about the Americans that are inside. Don't worry about the civilians that you're going to be killing. It's just normal. You need to just think about it like you're in Iraq or Afghanistan, because that's what they are trying to do. It's just a huge psyop. And Alex Jones called out the colonel there at the base police station. He said, you know what? Let me break it down what's really going on at that facility. It's incredibly eye-opening, and I think the colonel was quite surprised with the intel that he received.
You guys wanted to talk to me. Are you going to release them, or are they going to be shipped at Camp X-Ray?
I'm sorry, sir. What was your name again, sir?
It's Alexander Emmerich Jones.
Okay.
It's my full name.
Mr. Jones, yeah. My name is Bob McElroy. I'm the public affairs officer here.
Hey, we've been wanting to talk to you since February.
Well, yeah, I talked to you. I talked to somebody from your agency probably since February, and the asymmetric warfare group is a tenant agency here on Fort A.P. Hill. So any media requests and any media coverage has to go through them.
Well, we've been trying to talk to them, and they won't respond to us.
Yeah, well, I don't know, what their rationale is.
Well, can our guys go over to their office, like 60 Minutes or anybody would do, when for 3 months they won't talk to us, and then, at least be thrown out of their office? I mean, we're friendly. Our guys are pretty polite, aren't they? I mean, we just, because they don't have an office on their 300 acres. We looked. So is it on your base?
It's on the post here, yeah. It's, like I said, they're a tenant agency. But, we've got other tenant agencies, like we have an Army Reserve Center here. We have
the FBI. The FBI's there?
Well, no, that we have they come down here on occasion to train, but they've got their own facilities. We have the Explosive Ordnance Disposal School here on post. So they're all tenant agencies, and normally they handle their own media requests. And
well, that's great then, because the police took our guys to you. They were going around looking for that because we read that their tenant agency was on your regular base, not their tenant facility. So can they go over and talk to them, or can they be released?
Yeah, they're going to be released. As far as talking to AWG, they're going to have to take that up with their PAO.
So are my guys going to be escorted to the gate? They're not going to be able to go over there and try to talk to the people?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Sure. What do we do, though, when they won't talk to us and we physically try to go find them and we're now in the police station?
Well, you know, I can't talk for the AWG, and I don't know why they won't talk with you. I can only address that, you know, we control access to the installation out of security for the people who work here and live here, and that we have procedures that we should follow. And we don't ban the press or deny the press access to the installation, but we just ask that they follow the rules just like everybody else.
Sure. Well, I mean, my guys showed up and went to the gate, were friendly and nice. So,
right,
so
but nobody knew he was coming, sir. And it would have been appropriate for your agency to contact AWG or me. You've got my contact info.
I believe you said you have talked to our guys before. Well,
I did a couple of months ago.
Yeah, we called you before they came, but I understand you're busy. Listen, let's just get this straight.
Sure.
It's in Forbes magazine, it's in Army Times, that part of the training going on at that facility and others is to take on the Tea Party, returning veterans, and gun owners. And guys, put Forbes on the screen for TV viewers. So the point is that it's not weird that we want to shine a light of truth on this, that there's a Baptist church at the facility, and that the military is training to take on the American people. That's why we're doing this. We're countering the PSYOP as real, organic, like French resistance, would have done in 1943. So we're in the info war, and we understand that that's not your division in the Pentagon, but the Pentagon's been captured by outside forces. We are the American people. We are the resistance. We're using the press and the truth to try to expose it. And so I know you're probably a nice guy and, not compartmentalized in the Civilian Inmate Labor Camp Program or the Emergency Centers Establishment Act or InfraGard. I got the secret documents in '98 on the EOD program from an FBI agent. That the EOD is the cover for the military in plain clothes operating in every county in the U.S. I know all about it. I just want you to know that in case you don't. You can look into it. So we're fully aware of the Northcom takeover, and we're just there exposing it. So they do work for us, and I'd appreciate it if you'd release them and not take any of their footage. You guys aren't planning to erase their footage, are you?
No, we don't do that.
Okay, well, thank you, because I had Delta Force once do it at gunpoint.
Well, again, I can't speak for them, but, listen, our policy is to welcome the press and to show them whatever they want to help them get their story and to be as transparent as possible, given, security regulations.
I understand, sir. And what's your full name?
My name is Bob McElroy.
Okay, Bob, I want to say one thing for you.
Sure.
I bet you got a wife and kids, don't you?
We don't need to get into that.
No, but I mean, most people I know in the military or that are working in the civilian area are good people. And I'm going to tell you straight right now, and I'm going to let you go because I know you're busy. And I appreciate letting them go. I've studied this. This is real. This isn't rhetoric. They've got us in a normalcy bias to accept this takeover. It's a PSYOP. It's a PSYOP on record. It's hiding in plain view. The globalists are going to implode this country, destroy our way of life, and take over. And that base, I know, has multi-training facets for overseas, but it's also to acclimate the troops before they deploy to the U.S. for real, and that's on record. And I want you to know it's treason. The training going on there is treason, and that I represent, and you represent, by the way, but I'm coming to you from FEMA Region 6. You're in your own region. You need to realize, sir, that our military isn't run by America anymore. It's run by the globalists. And I'm here as a friend telling you and everybody on the base and using this whole fact that we went out there as an illustration of what we're facing, sir, and that the military is training to pull triggers on the American people. We have a video that has 3.5 million views by Rob Dew that we'll send you a link to. Do you have an email?
Yeah. Are we on the air?
Yes, I told them up front we're broadcasting worldwide.
Okay, yeah. If you'd like to call me privately, I'll send you my email address.
Right. I'm going to send you the footage of the Marines training to execute Americans on their knees, shooting them in the back of the head, okay? And like, by the way, my soldier that's there, he's taking people to torture camps himself. So we all know what's really going on. I really appreciate you. We're going to get you some info. Please release them.
Yeah, we're going to.